What's up, y'all? Let's get into this week's video, kind of break down what happened last week, the rankings for this week, and then also kind of like preview into how certain teams can get in the playoffs that are right on that edge. Um, First of all, getting into last week, congratulations to the Pacific All-Star team. Say that, and a little jealousy there on their runaway win. Wasn't ever very close. Also won that 3-point contest thanks to Steph Curry's outburst. Insane week for that guy. Um, but yeah, let's get into it a little bit. Last week, Cowboysville Flamers beat the Brazilian Tree Frogs 355 to 341. Good win. I felt like my team put up a decent effort. Giddy sucked on the last day, but it's hard having to rely on that last game of the week. So Saskatchewan Blue Beavers 345 over Swish Kebabs 302. Swish Kebabs are hurting without Joel Embiid. Interested to see if any moves get made this week for them to try to make a playoff run, or if they're just going to say kind of screw it and just hope for next year. Moscow Muskrats 365 and a half. Really good game out of them over the Cuckolders 324. Big win for Moscow. It was crazy to see that. Very impressive. Um, Albuquerque DEA 406 over the International Pussycats 318 and a half, and that loss there for the International Pussycats puts Prestige Worldwide as the Atlantic Conference champions. So congratulations to Prestige Worldwide. Um, Very, very cool. Last matchup of the week was probably the craziest one. It ended in a tie, 366 to 366. I knew that this would happen at some point. Um, I didn't know it would happen this early into the league. Very crazy finish to that one, and very, very insane that happened. Team of the week, Luca of the Selma Trash Pandas, 63 fantasy points at Brooklyn. He was also the All-Star MVP thanks to that performance. Anthony Edwards, 50 points at Chicago um, for the Prestige Worldwide. I don't know why I had a brain fart there, but that was a good pickup for us on our All-Star team. Just wasn't quite enough. Brandon Ingram, 57 and a half against Toronto for Albuquerque. That was another performance that just kind of buried us early. Same with this next one. Anthony Davis, power forward of the week, 59 points at Charlotte. Last one, Bam Adebayo was the center of the week with only 41 against Boston. It's very interesting. Jokic kind of had a struggle this week, but Pacific didn't need him. So Cuckolders did, but Pacific did not. So yeah, I kind of already said it, but Albuquerque DEA is the Pacific Conference champs, and Prestige Worldwide is the Atlantic Conference champs. Rankings for this week, let's get into those. Number 10, we have the Brazilian Tree Frogs, 3 and 13. Number 9, the Moscow Muskrats at 6 and 10. Number 8, the Saskatchewan Blue Beavers at 6 and 10. At 7, we have the International Pussycats at 8 and 8. I have them below the Cuckolders at 7 and 9, and below Selma Trash Pandas at 7, 8 and 1. Um, I don't know. I just think it's they have to win this week to get in. I'll get into that here in a little bit. But I think those two teams, just if you give me a matchup of those two versus International, I'll take those two all day. Swish Kebabs at 4 at 8 and 8. Like I said, they're hurting without Joel Embiid, but um, we'll see how that plays out in the playoffs for them. Prestige Worldwide at 3, 10, 5, and 1. Little good run here for Prestige. Tied this week, but was on a little bit of a winning streak before that. Calvertsville Flamers at 10 and 6. And number one team in the league, Albuquerque DEA at 14 and 2. Now, before I get into like how four teams can get in the playoffs here, just a reminder, this week is trade deadline. If you are wanting to boost your rosters, I know I am for sure shopping some guys. Trying to get younger, trying to get draft picks, all the whole 9 yards. Saskatchewan is probably in the same boat. Same with Moscow, where us three are not going to make the playoffs. So holding on to guys that aren't going to make a difference on our team this year for what we could get younger prospects and draft picks for. Just doesn't make sense, at least in my eyes, for my team. So if you're searching for somebody, check that trade block. This week is the deadline, so I could see some trades going down this week. Swish Kebabs at 8-8. This is path to playoffs. This is a little segment we're going to do today. There's 4 teams fighting for 2 spots at the bottom of the playoff bracket, or no, 3 spots. So it's kind of 4 for 3 week here. Swish Kebabs, they play this week. They play me. They play the Brazilian Tree Frogs. They win, they are in. Simple as that. They'll move to 9-8. They'll be in the playoffs. Won't have anything to worry about. International Pussycats 8-8. Same thing. They win, they're in. They control their own destiny. They play Selma Trash Pandas, which is a huge week for playoff purposes. So watch that one for sure. Selma Trash Pandas, like I said, they play the International Pussycats. They win and they're in. They own the percentage points against the Cuckolders. So if they win, they're in the playoffs. Nothing to worry about there. The last one, Cuckolders, 7-9. This was a team that had the number 2 overall pick. This is a team that I've been high on all year. Just gotten some really unlucky bounces, man. Like, I mean, they needed Selma to lose last week and they end in a tie. Like that's very unlucky. So let's get into what they need. They need a win and the International Pussycats to lose. That would move the Pussycats to 8-9. That would move the Cuckolders to 8-9. Cuckolders have scored more points than the Pussycats. So they win, Pussycats lose, they're in. Or they need a win and the Swish Kebabs to lose and to score 55 more points than the Swish Kebabs. So there's a path from multiple ways, but they're going to have to outscore the Swish Kebabs by a lot if they want that to be their path. So they're really watching the International Pussycats. They're watching that game between Selma Trash Pandas, International Pussycats. Whoever wins that is going to be of huge importance to the Cuckolders, huge importance to the playoff breakdown. And yeah, the top 2 seeds, they get a bye. That is Albuquerque DEA with the number 1 overall seed, and that is Prestige Worldwide with the number 2 overall seed. Both conference champs. That's not going to change. So that's set. Your 3 bottom teams, my Tree Frogs, Muskrats, and Blue Beavers, that's set as well. So us 3 will be in the losers terrible bracket, whatever you want to call it. We're just waiting to see who else joins us. So this week's going to be huge. I expect to see some trades go down by Sunday for sure to build up for playoffs. I expect to see a lot of, I don't want to say panic, but a lot, like if you get down early and you need a win to get into the playoffs, I could see some teams freaking out and just making moves that they need to make, and whether that's signing, whether that's trading, to get the most points possible for themselves to get into the playoffs. Because once you're in, obviously it's free for all. Anybody can win. Anybody's going to win. I promise you, there will be upsets. Um, there will be close matchups every week. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Appreciate y'all tuning in this week's video. Again, congratulations to the Pacific Conference. Congratulations to Luka Doncic of the Selma Trash Pandas for winning MVP. Congratulations to Luka Doncic, Trae Young, and Steph Curry on winning the 3-point contest. It was a fun All-Star week. I will start to do award voting for the end of the year, so look for that coming up. That'll be very cool. So again, look for that. Let's have a good week. Good luck to everybody in their matchups. Play well. We'll see you next week.